Imagine you're driving down a quiet, peaceful neighborhood area when all of a sudden you've hit a dead end. Whatever will you do? While you might be tempted to abandon your vehicle and run for the hills, don't. Instead, pull out a U-turn, a 2-point turn, or 3-point turn. One of these powerful turnabout tools, if executed properly, will help you get headed back in the right direction. Hi Learning to Drive YouTubeverse, it's me, Kimberly, with Drivers Ed Direct, and today we'll be going over all of the ways you can safely and legally turn you and your vehicle around. In case I forget to ask at the end of the video, can you kindly take a second to like this video and take another split second to subscribe, please? It's a great way to encourage us to continue to pump out more content and support our channel. Anyway, enough of us asking for some YouTube help. Let's get you guys into some U-turn help. Let's go. Before we start turning our car around in circles, let's go over when it's safe and legal to make a U-turn. You can legally turn your vehicle around in a residential district if no vehicles are approaching you within 200 feet, at an intersection on a green traffic light or green arrow unless a no U-turn sign is posted, on a divided highway if a center divider opening is provided, across a single set of double yellow lines. You can never make a U-turn where a no U-turn sign is posted, at or on a railroad crossing, over a divided highway's dividing island, curb, strip of land, or two sets of double yellow lines, when you cannot see clearly for 200 feet in each direction, for example, before a hill or curve in the road, on a one-way street, in front of a fire station, in business districts, the part of the city or town where most offices, apartments, or businesses are. The only exception to this is at an intersection where U-turns are allowed. Now that we know the rules of the road, let's go over the preferred method for turning your car around, a good old U-turn. We prefer the U-turn because it allows us to reverse direction without having to drive in reverse. And it's always a win when you can avoid backing up, because backing up your car is always dangerous due to limited visibility and added blind zones behind you. Got it? Good. Let's do a U-turn. Let's start by simply showing you the most basic of U-turns you can do by using a cul-de-sac, the kind you'll typically find at any dead end of any neighborhood street. A cul-de-sac is a great place to practice a U-turn because there's no oncoming traffic or cross traffic. Instead, we can focus on the mechanics of making a U-turn. Don't worry, we'll go over all of the detailed steps of making a U-turn in just a second. But let's just knock this one out first since it's easier so you can get a feel for it. As I come up to the end of the cul-de-sac, I slow down to a nice walking pace and put on my left turn signal to let other folks know what's going on. I'm also doing a scan of everything going on around me, especially looking for pedestrians, kids, pets, or parked cars with doors that might swing open suddenly. If everything looks clear, I perform my U-turn by more or less tracing the arc of the cul-de-sac, turning my wheel all the way to the left as I continue very slowly and cautiously. Use very little gas and keep scanning the road during your U-turn. Also, notice how I keep a safe distance from any parked cars. As I finish the U-turn, I start to straighten my wheels by counter-steering to the right. With my wheels straight, I can accelerate up to the proper speed of traffic, and voila! We did our very first U-turn. Not bad, right? Now that we've done a very easy U-turn at a cul-de-sac, let's try a more challenging one where we're not at a dead end and have a few more potential obstacles to juggle. Step 1. Assess the situation. You need to turn around. Is this a safe place to do a U-turn? Can I clearly see 200 feet ahead? Are there any obstacles or hazards approaching? Is the street wide enough for me to fully turn around without having to back up? My personal preference in residential neighborhoods is to go to an intersection where there will be more room for making a full U-turn. An intersection with stop signs also has the added benefit of controlling traffic to help make our lives a little easier. Step 2. Prepare for a safe U-turn. Signal to the left to let other drivers know your intent to turn. You always want to begin any U-turn from the leftmost lane. In residential areas, you'll start your U-turn from the left lane position like this. If you're not starting your U-turn from a stop position, make sure you're slowing down to a safe speed for your U-turn, about 4 to 5 miles per hour. Double check your surroundings by scanning ahead, checking your mirrors, and checking over your left shoulder. You really want to make sure everything is clear all around your vehicle by doing a complete 360-degree scan. As we like to say, keep your head on a swivel. Step 3. Time to execute our U-turn. With your car slowed to a safe speed and everything looking clear in all directions, we begin by making a wide semicircle turn. You actually will swing a little to the right as you begin your turn. This will give us plenty of room to complete our U-turn. Think of this as if you're tracing a question mark or perhaps driving on an imaginary cul-de-sac. Go slowly and with control as you trace the imaginary semicircle, cranking the wheel all the way to the left as you turn yourself around. While you turn, keep scanning your surroundings. When your vehicle begins to point in the direction you want to go, you can start to counter steer to the right as you come out of the turn, lightly accelerating as your wheels straighten out. Again, keep visually scanning the road situation all around you looking for hazards. Keep your primary visual target aimed at where you want to end up. As I straighten out, I look ahead to my visual target, but notice how I look out of the corner of my left window to see where I'm going. Nice! As we finish straightening out the car, we can accelerate a bit more up to the appropriate speed. And that's a successful U-turn. Beautiful. One last U-turn example we want to cover is a situation that may show up on your DMV test depending on where you live. This is a less common situation in residential areas, but we want you to be prepared in case you encounter it in real life or on your drive test. Here, we are in an uncontrolled residential area with traffic divided by a center median. And as you see, there are several outlets or openings in the center median where we can make a legal U-turn. In reality, it's just like a normal U-turn. We signal left, slow down, check all around for traffic and pedestrians. When everything looks safe, we perform the U-turn per usual. That wasn't so bad, but we wanted to make sure you could see it in action just in case you were ever asked to do it yourself. Okay, everybody, that's it today for U-turns. Stay tuned for part 2 in this Turning Yourself Around series, where we'll do a deep dive into 2-point turns and 3-point turns. Until then, my sprouting drivers in training, from Kimberly and everyone at Drivers Ed Direct, please stay safe out there.